Hello everybody, it's Penny here from East Hertfordshire Family Centre Service. As parents and carers, I think most of us realise the importance of physical education or physical activity, should I say, with regards to our children's development, whether it be our fine or our gross motor skills. It also impacts on our social and our emotional and our language development. And probably one of the very first physical skills that we do as children, long before we know about the fun of kicking and throwing and catching, is the ball. We put our babies down on the floor for good old tummy time. We stick something round and soft in front of them. They stretch out, they touch it, it moves. That is the ball. And whatever our aspirations are with regards to balls and activity play like that, it all encroaches and helps about with our hand and eye and muscle coordination, and it's a great social activity to do with our friends and our families. So we've all got balls at home, all different size ones, different textured ones, which are lovely, particularly for our young children. And so we've got these sort of like these other plastic ones, tennis balls, soft ones, whatever they are, something rolled round that we can play with. Also, we can make sock balls. And I like the idea of actually just making our own balls out of scrunched up paper. And you know, sometimes it's quite fun to use these these ones that we've particularly made, as opposed to the balls that we can buy and get from the shops and have access to, and we tend to think of. So have a go at using these as well. What does it feel like? Is it different? So at home, just play sort of throwing and catching, rolling the ball, kicking the ball. Just great fun and activities to do with that. No real motive at the end of it. What we're going to do is just playing and enjoying and seeing it move. Now, when we are learning to catch, probably a soft ball is the best one to use. And if we're working with a partner, with a grown-up, if we stand close to our children at first and just throw and catch, throw and catch. Throwing is much easier than catching it. That is a greater skill. So as we're doing that, try and encourage our children perhaps to cup their hands, and as they catch it, bring it towards their chest like that. Yeah, we'll be dropping it, so what? It doesn't matter. That's all part and parcel of it. And as our child becomes more adept at the throwing and the catching, we can stand further and further away from them. As they get a little bit older or more able to, just add an extra bit into it. Maybe find a bowl or a washing up bowl, a bucket, anything that we can throw our ball into. Yeah, that one's probably a bit big, so let's just use one of our, good, let's use our sock ball and throw that in. And again, take that over there and see. And that is really good for our hand and eye coordination. Throwing balls and catching balls is great for turn taking as well, and sharing. And that's why I like to use these, the sock ball, great fun. And as I said, use these ones. Are they different to use? And then as they get older or more adept or want to have a go, it doesn't matter. It's just is introducing sort of bats and rackets. These ones are probably, you know, a bit big for our little one, but we've got these, the smaller ones, but anything really. We can just use that so they can have a go and at touching, seeing if they can just hit it. We could hold the bat down here for them and just see if they can touch it. Keep your bat on the ground, and then we roll the ball, see if they can do that before we start throwing them. Bouncing. That's another great one to do, is learning to bounce the ball. Again, maybe start quite low and then they will gradually bounce up higher, and learn to aim that so they can just bring their hand down onto it. So all these things we learn over time and do that. And part of the activity is learning how to do it and getting more practice at it. Now, kicking, yeah, we all love having a go at kicking and see if we can get that goal. But kicking can also require balance. And if your child is not sure about balance, amazing. If you just get your child to perhaps hold on, I'm just going to hold on to you, Teddy. hold on to a grown-up or something that's close by, and just hold on that and just practice standing on one leg. You could join in too, actually, because it's quite fun. And do that, whichever leg that they prefer to use, or both of them, just to encourage that balance. Now, dribbling. Yeah, I don't mean that one where it's coming from your mouth, but with that ball. Another skill I gather you use a lot in football. And that's when your ball stays in touch with your foot all the time. So you're sort of pushing that around and keeping that contact. Another great skill to learn with the ball. And again, as we become more practice of that, see if you can make obstacles. Just put anything, like your bowls or anything, and then you can just dribble in and out. That's another great activity to do, actually, with a bat. So just move it, keeping those in contact as you move that in and out of them. And another one to do is, might need a few more people for this, and I've got my trusty bears here, is sort of passing the ball over and under. So maybe you just pass it over your head, the next one takes it, passes that over to the back. When it gets to the end, that bear, in my case, will come to the front and we start again. To add to that one, we can pass over. Now the next person has got to pass the ball through the legs. The other one has to reach down and we pass it over, and so on. So that builds up pattern making and sort of the turn taking. Whenever we're playing with the balls or anything really, just make sure we always praise our child, because it's great for self-esteem. As I say, some of us are more adept at it than others. I still haven't really quite mastered hand and ball coordination with regards to bats as well. But, you know, I've managed to get on without that. But that doesn't stop me from having a go. So whatever you do, whether you use your softballs, the footballs and things, or your paper ball, I do challenge you to have a go with making those and having that, or your sock ball, have fun, enjoy.